Hey, hi students, how are you all? I'm sure that you must be learning and updating yourself in this holidays, isn't it? Definitely, these holidays, in these holidays, we are suffering a lot because of this universal problem, pandemic COVID-19. But still, I'm damn sure about it that you must have utilized these holidays for updation of yourself. You must have learned new skills and new things, isn't it? Chalo, fine then. So moving on that way only, we are also going to start our first lesson of geography. Okay? The first lesson of geography, as you know very well, it is resources. Many times we have heard about this word resources, isn't it? बहुत बार हमने रिसोर्सेस के बारे में सुना है. रिसोर्सेस का मतलब होता है ऐसी, अगर शॉर्ट में हम इसे देखें तो ऐसी कोई भी चीज़ जो इंसान के काम आती है उसको हम रिसोर्स कहते हैं. आपके आसपास अगर आप देखोगे तो बहुत सारी चीज़ें आपको दिखेंगी, वो सभी के सभी रिसोर्सेस है. Which things are useful for human beings or for the nature, it is resource. Very simple definition, isn't it? Chalo. So in this lesson we are going to see the types of resources, how the resources are utilized, how we can do the sustainable development, we can use them, as well as we can keep it for our upcoming generation. Okay. Yes. So here we'll try to understand what is a resource. Resource is a source or supply from which benefit is produced. Typically, resources are materials, services, staff, or other assets that are transformed to produce benefit and in the process may be consumed or made unavailable. Such a big definition, no? But just one thing you must have to understand, that resources are for our utilization. Resources utilization may include increased wealth, meeting needs or wants. Okay, from human perspective, a natural resource is anything obtained from the environment to satisfy human needs and wants. Okay, so if you see in the nature, there are many things, isn't it? But until and unless we use them, we don't call it resource. So indirectly, if you see, the things which are used only by the human beings, they are called resources. Okay, so here a big definition. Chalo, fine. Then there are some types of resources. Okay, again, many times you might have heard about it, that there are many types of resources. Okay, so resources, in a general, resources can be classified into three types: natural resource, human made resource, and human itself is a resource. Okay, so in this, first of all, we'll try to understand natural resources. What is a natural resource? Very simple to understand. Natural resource means which we have obtained from the nature environment, that is called as natural resource. They are derived from the environment. Many natural resources are essential for human survival, while others are used for satisfying human desire. Conservation is the management of natural resources with the goal of sustainability. As I told you earlier, we have to use them, but we also have to keep them for our upcoming generation. As a responsible citizens, that's why we have to use it judicially. Natural resources may be further classified in different ways. So our full lesson is dependent upon these natural resources. 90% stuff of our lesson is dependent upon this part. Okay, so let's see different types of natural resources. So here you can see these are natural resources: sunlight, trees, water, mountain. Okay, then animals, grass, they all are natural resources. Then see, this is the classification of natural resources. They can be classified into different groups depending on level of development and use, then origin, availability, and distribution. So these are the types of natural resources. So first of all, on the basis of development and use, we will see. On the basis of development and use, there are two types: actual resource and potential resource. Actual resource means it is surveyed, mapped, and all details of that resource is available with us. We know all the details of that particular resource. For example, coal. If you think about the coal, we know very well that where we can use coal, how we can use it, how we can take the energy from it. We know it very well. So it is an actual resource. Actual resources are those that have been surveyed, their quantity and quality determined, and they are being used in present times. For example, coal, then petrol is there, natural gases are there. Okay, so they are actual resources. We know their availability and their utilization also. Then what is a potential resource? Potential resource means they exist today, but we don't know what is their usefulness, where we can use them, how much quantity it has, and what quality it has. We don't know exactly, but they exist. Okay, but in future we can utilize them. We can develop such a technology by which we can use them in future. Okay, yeah. So are known to exist and may be used in the future. For example, petroleum may exist in many parts of India and Kuwait that have sedimentary rocks, but until the time it is actually drilled out and put into use, it remains a potential resource. Okay, so in this way, on the basis of development and use, these are two types of resources. Okay, next, here you can see coal is an actual resource, but uranium, still all the usage of uranium we don't know. Okay, that's why it is potential resource. Yeah, now on the basis of origin. Okay, origin means whether they are living or non-living. So on the basis of origin, abiotic resources and biotic resources. From word itself you will understand what I mean by abiotic and biotic. Abiotic means which is not living, non-living. For example, comprise of non-living things such as land, water, air, and minerals such as gold, iron, copper, silver. All these are abiotic resources. Okay, whereas biotic resources are obtained from the biosphere, forest and their products, animals, birds and their products, fish and other marine organisms are important examples. So from this you will understand that biotic resources means living resources. So minerals such as coal and petroleum are sometimes included in this category because they were formed from fossilized organic matter, though over long periods of time. But still, it is the issue of conflict. It is not decided yet. But technically, if you see, minerals and petroleum, they are also biotic resources because they are made up from living sources, isn't it? Next, see the picture. Land, it is abiotic. It is a resource itself because we cultivate our land on this only. Okay, so it is a resource, but it is non-living, so abiotic. And animal, it is biotic. Yes, next, on the basis of availability, non-renewable resources and renewable resources. Actually, everything in this world is renewable, but it is just matter of time. That's why we have categorized non-renewable resources are also renewed, but it takes many years, thousands of years. Okay, that's why we put them into category of non-renewable resources. They are formed over very long geological periods. Minerals and fossils are included in this category. Since their rate of formation is extremely slow, they cannot be replenished once they are depleted. So here you will understand, rate of formation is extremely slow. Okay, but it is replenished. It takes many years, but it is replenished. Out of this, the metallic minerals can be reused by recycling them. But coal and petroleum cannot be recycled. Fossil fuels means our petroleum, all petroleum commodities comes into this category, non-renewable resources. Once we use them and it is consumed, again it will not be renewed. Okay. And second, renewable resources. If you see in our nature, there are many resources which can be renewed. For example, we are using air, we are using sunlight, we are using water, but it is abundant in nature, isn't it? We have a lot of stock of all these commodities, and once we use it, again it is replenished. That's why it is renewable resource. Such as forest, fisheries can be replenished or reproduced relatively quickly. The highest rate of which resource can be used sustainably is the sustainable yield. Some resources like sunlight, air, and wind are called perpetual resources because they are available continuously through at a limited rate. Though at a limited rate, their quantity is not affected by human consumption. How much sunlight we are using, how much air we are using, it doesn't matter. It will replenish. Many renewable resources can be depleted by human use but may also be replenished, thus maintaining a flow. Some of these, like agricultural crops, take a short time for renewal. Others, like water, take a comparatively longer time, while still others, like forests, take even longer. But they all are included in renewable resources because we are having a big stock of them. Okay, so in this way, these are two types on the basis of availability. Here again you can see the difference. From one picture only you will understand what is the difference between renewable resource and non-renewable resource. Water, it is renewable resource, whereas petroleum, that is fossil fuel, it is non-renewable resource. Yes. Now, fourth, on the basis of distribution, ubiquitous and localized resources. Ubiquitous means which is found everywhere. For example, air, light, water, they all are found everywhere in the world. It is not so that air is found in India and Pakistan is our enemy, that's why in Pakistan it is not found. It's not like that. Everywhere it is available. That's why it is called ubiquitous, which is living everywhere. And second, localized resources. Localized means they are confined in specific area. They are found only in certain parts of the world, that is copper and iron ore, geothermal power. They can be found in specific area only. Okay, so on the basis of distribution there are two resources, ubiquitous and localized. Again see the picture. From this picture you will understand ubiquitous, air is ubiquitous whereas copper is a localized resource. Till here we discussed about natural resources. Henceforward we will discuss about human made resources. Okay, see, until and unless human beings develop such a technology which will convert raw material from the nature into fine material, it will not become resource. Okay, for example, there are many things in the nature. For example, soil is there, it is already available, water is already available, sunlight is already available, but for sunlight we made solar cookers, isn't it? This is an invention of human beings. So solar cooker, it is a human made resource. So here we'll try to understand this. Sometimes natural substances becomes resources only when their original form has been changed. Iron ore was not a resource until people learned to extract iron from it. People use natural resources to make buildings, bridges, roads, machinery and vehicles, which are known as human-made resources. For making building, the things that we use, we get it from nature only. But until and unless we do some process on that and we use it for our self-interest, it will not become resource. Okay, so all these are human made resources. Technology is also a human made resource. Okay, see, these are marvelous and giant creation of human beings. Such a beautiful roads, such a gigantic buildings, and you can see here the big bridges. Okay, so they all are human made resources. But can you think that human can also be a resource? Till here we discuss about natural resource, we discuss about human made resource, but human beings, they are also a resource. How? Human can also be a resource, but he should be skillful. Just imagine, India is a country of 1.30 billion people, isn't it? Sorry, 1.3 billion people. Okay, so such a big country, such a big population we have. But just imagine if all these people are skillful, all they are skilled, well trained in every or any field that they go, how developed country India will be. Okay, so country will not develop by the population only, it will develop with skilled and trained population. So human can be an asset, it can be a resource only then when it has some skill, he has some skill. So human beings, through the labor they provide and the organization they staff, are also considered to be resources. The term human resource can also be defined as the skills, energies, talents, abilities and knowledge that are used for the production of goods or the rendering of services. Means, see, the resources that we are using now, all they are all they are lying on the earth, but there are no human beings or they don't have talent how to utilize them. What's the use of all these natural resources, isn't it? So natural resources will not become a resource until and unless human beings are applying their talent for their benefit. Okay, so in this way human beings are also resources. So students, till here we discussed about different types of resources. Okay, now we will see the problems, what problems we are facing because of over consumption of resources. Okay, first, environmental degradation. Okay, uh, for our habitat we are cutting the forest, we are doing urbanization, deforestation, and because of this there is a soil erosion, environmental degradation is there, there is no balance in the nature. Earlier, on a specific date itself rain used to come, but now year by year it is delaying. Okay, so this is environmental degradation. Next, over consumption. Okay, as we are over consuming, the problem with this is we are not able to cope up with the speed of the population, because the population is increasing a lot, but we don't have those many resources to use for these people, such a big population. Next is resource curse. We have limited resources and we have to use them judicially. If we don't use them judicially, one day we are cursed that we have to suffer a lot of problems because of our overconsumption. Then resource depletion. Because of overconsumption, it is depleting. And tragedy of the commons. All our resources, they are going to reach people. If you go to the forest, in forest wood, it is purchased by businessmen. Okay, and that's why the people, those who are living there, Adivasi people, they are not able to graze their cattle there. Okay, that is a tragedy of the commons. Just I told you one example of that, but there is a big tragedy with this. Okay, so these are the problems. If we use our natural resources or all resources judicially and properly, what benefits we will get? We will have economic growth. Second, there will be ethical consumerism. We use them but as well as we'll keep in our mind that, as Gandhiji says, we have borrowed these resources from upcoming generation, and if we don't give it back to them, they will curse us, they will blame us. Okay, if we use them properly, then we'll be prosperous, there will be prosperity in our country. It will also enhance our quality of life, then there will be a sustainability and wealth. Okay, these benefits will get. So what is the conclusion of this lesson? Typically resources cannot be consumed in their original form, but rather through resource development they must be processed into more usable commodities. With increasing population, the demand for resource is increasing. There are marked differences in resource distribution and associated economic inequality between regions or countries, with developed countries using more natural resources than developing countries. Sustainable. So as a homework, I would like to tell you this. Just find out, uh, just do the comparison of India and America. How much water those people are using per person, per head, okay? And in India, how much water we are using. Just take one case of water, how much we are using and how much they are using. So it is a natural resource, renewable resource, how much they are using, how much we are using. That you will come to know how the developed countries, they are just consuming without any concern of the future. So students, this is the conclusion of this lesson. So henceforward, whenever you are using any resource, please take care that we have to think about upcoming generation. So in our small act can do a big work. For example, if you are going outside, just turn off the lights, take care of that. Just take care of your taps, the water should not leak. Such a big such a small acts can bring a big change. Okay, so if we do so, it will be the uh, real application of this lesson. Otherwise it will be lesson only in book. Okay, so fine. Thank you so much. I hope you must have understood this lesson. Keep studying and do your work. Okay, chalo. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.